So there's been talks from Matchroom and Eddie Hearn and I guess even George Liddard that George Liddard, following his win against Tyler Denny, his next fight will be against Liam Smith. Now, of course, Liam Smith is a former world champion at 154. I think he was world champion. If he wasn't world champion, he was definitely in and around world level at 54. That being said, he did move up to 160, fought Chris Eubank Jr. Biggest win of his career was against Chris Eubank Jr. And then, of course, he did get stopped in the rematch. Of course, he did stop Chris Eubank Jr. in the first fight, so there is that. But since then, we've not seen Liam Smith. I know he fought Aaron McKenna. I believe he lost to Aaron McKenna. But we've not seen Liam Smith since then. And, of course, Aaron McKenna's, no scrub in his own right. I think he's probably a touch beyond George Liddard at this point in both guys' careers. But there's a part of me that's like, well, Liam Smith was world level at 54. George Liddard isn't ready for him. But if we're being honest, that was then, this is now. And it's not like Liam Smith is anywhere near world level at 160 in my opinion. I don't think he could beat any of the top 160 pound fighters. I don't think he beats Adames. Don't think he beats Johnny Beck. Maybe Lara, because Lara's really old. But Lara's no scrub. He's a wily old vet. He's a slick technician in there. And I think he's probably got a higher IQ than Liam Smith and probably could beat him. George Liddard, on the other hand, is going to be a lot more physical than Liam Smith at this point in his career. Liam Smith's been through a ton of camps now. He's been through some wars. Not necessarily a ton of wars, but he's been through enough wars. Even in the first Eubank Jr. fight, he took some shots. Second Eubank Jr. fight, took even more shots. Took some shots against Aaron McKenna as well. He's not getting any younger. And George Liddard is a guy who's entering his prime, getting faster, stronger, more physical with each fight, getting more experience, taking the shots well. But I look at him, I think I see both guys in this fight. I think both guys aren't particularly that hard to hit. Liam Smith probably has better fundamentals. He's a more experienced technician, more experienced boxer in there. But George Liddard is rough and ready, and he closes the distance. He throws a lot of punches, and he's got heavy hands. He works the head. He works the body. He's not an amazing boxer. I don't want to say he went life and death with Tyler Denny, but this wasn't a complete shutout. And like I said, going into the 10th round, going into the championship rounds, it was a 5-5 fight in my opinion. So I can't sit here and be like, well, George Liddard is levels above Tyler Denny. He can go onto a Liam Smith fight and that'll be easy for him. I can't say that. It was a competitive fight with Tyler Denny. He was a European level middleweight. And realistically, at this point, Liam Smith probably is in and around that sort of level. European/fringe world level is Liam Smith's level at this point. Because he's not world level at 160 in my opinion. Because his best win at 160 is against Chris Eubank Jr., who himself is not world level at 160 in my opinion. So, we'll see if that fight gets made. I think that's a super exciting fight because, like I said, both guys are there to be hit a bit. I think, like I said, Liam Smith's got better defensive fundamentals and can move about the ring a bit better, so he'll be a touch harder to hit. But again, if we're being honest, George Liddard is good enough offensively to find and pin down a Liam Smith. It's not like Liam Smith's super elusive and George Liddard will just be whiffing at air. That won't be the case. George Liddard is a lot more technically measured than the likes of Chris Eubank Jr. as well, which is a gift and a curse because you saw in the first fight it was a bit of a curse for Chris Eubank Jr. because Liam Smith was just technically far better. But you saw in the rematch that when you're wild and you can use that physicality, it can get to Liam Smith. And if you're landing big shots, you're landing big shots. If you're landing them clean, even better. Right, and that's the situation George Liddard would find himself in a fight with Liam Smith. But again, George Liddard's a guy with all the momentum in the world right now. He's the current British and Commonwealth middleweight champion. He's got all the momentum. He wants to be going on to bigger and better things. And they want to move him through the gears Matchroom. And they've been doing that. Kieran Conway was a big step up. He beat Kieran Conway pretty decisively. And then Tyler Denny again, another step up. And he beat him, not as decisively, but beat him. And now he wants to go on to a Liam Smith fight. And we'll see what's going to go on there. I mean, hopefully if that fight happens at the Copper Box, that'd be great. I'd definitely try and get down there and see it. But yeah, hopefully they do it there because George Liddard would be the home fighter. He did sell a good number of tickets in the Copper Box. Didn't sell it out as much as Johnny Fisher, but game is game, innit? He's got to charge it. But yeah, I mean, if this fight happens, I would be going with George Liddard. But like I said, Liam Smith's a wily vet himself. He's been in there with a lot of tough guys. He's been in there with a lot of high-level guys. Done 12 rounds many times. That, could be a gift. Like I said, could be a gift or a curse. You have got to balance the experience with the physical wear that boxing puts on you. And it's a tough, it's a thin line to battle. It's a thin line to be on the right side of. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. If this fight happens, who do you think wins? Do you think George Liddard could win this? Or do you think Liam Smith will have it in the bag? Let me know in the comments below. Another episode of the Seth Solo Side Quest in the bag. And I'm out. Peace.